Carlos, man, what the heck are you out here doing, man?
Making comfortable seats for us to sit by the fireplace.
Man, you know we gotta leave tomorrow to go to New Orleans to go visit AST.
What's up, Paul? It's good to see you again. Yeah, Paul.
How you doing?
Good, good.
Hey, welcome. How you doing?
We out here, man.
You made it.
Yeah. You ready to go to work right now?
Let's roll.
Let's go.
You'll pack light, huh?
Feels good out here, man.
Yeah, it was in the 70s yesterday.
Okay.
Jump in on the other side. Get your stuff in the back. Things move a little bit slower here in New Orleans.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a little bit slower. Carlos, you been here before?
Yes, I've been here before. I noticed people move really smooth and slower here.
You're right. It's a little bit slower moving.
Yeah, it's just the pace they go.
The only thing, there's a nice little pocket at 108 Industrial Avenue that moves real fast. That's AST.
AST.
We move fast, man. So we're headed to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
We're gonna go meet with the guy that invented the bead filter.
Woo!
Dr. Malone, Ron Malone.
Man, I'm pumped for that one.
And we're gonna do a presentation with him.
Okay.
We're going to do a couple of site visits. He's got a couple of things cooked up. We've got a research facility in Baton Rouge. That's where we're gonna go see. We got too much going on.
Yeah, it's good. Good, busy trip.
How far is Baton Rouge from New Orleans?
We got about an hour and 15-minute drive.
Oh, that ain't bad.
It's not so bad.
It's not bad.
We're talking about the food too.
Oh man, yeah.
You guys are all about the raging.
Yeah, what do y'all want to eat while you're here?
Maybe jambalaya or some fruits.
There you go.
I'm on a fruits and veggie diet right now.
Oh, you are?
I'm just playing.
Here we are, LSU Innovation Park. So, we are right now on the way to the AST Engineering and Research Facility.
Woo!
We're technically on LSU's campus right now.
Okay.
And this is where the bead filter was invented, at LSU. So we're gonna go in and talk to Dr. Ron Malone, who invented the bead filter. Man, right there.
Okay. Caught him coming right out of his truck.
You know we're the bead filter guys because we got
Bead filters all in the back of a
endurance filter in the back of a truck.
Dr. Malone, the master, the genius. Say about that. Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time too for coming out and showing us, giving us this presentation and letting us see your work firsthand. This is some amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Left over, and these are the shrimp. They're actually about a year old.
Okay.
We started the study about a year. These are the ones that we had left after the study was over with.
Okay.
And we just filled up the rest of them with bait fish, and that other one over there has got a couple baby mollies in it. And we're just letting them run, just as kind of a showpiece, and see what the filters can do as far as water clarity and what you can put into them and still maintain good water.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
we got a lot of research that's going into shrimp farming. And backyard shrimp farming is something that so many people are so interested in. We're really pushing for a simple system that we can get where, in 3 to 4 months, somebody will be able to harvest shrimp like this. Yeah.
I always get people asking about shrimp. Always.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes, floating all in the water column.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
that's right.
about this.
That's right.
Exactly.
All in the water column.
When they were younger, you'd walk in and you'd see the whole tank just swimming.
Everyone just
swimming all in the same direction, just kind of riding the current.
Oh,
it was really
amazing.
Cool. They've gotten kind of old, so they're a little bit more lazy than.
Oh yeah, got it.
Yeah, these are geriatric shrimp as far as production numbers.
So these systems are not run with water pumps, they're run with air lifts. And the reason for that, all we're doing is injecting air in this tube here, which makes this a light column. That is, it's an air-water mixture, so it's lighter than the weight of the water coming out of the aquarium.
Okay.
Which is all solid water. So we come out of the top of the filter here, we come over here to an air release that comes up, and that's just to release the gas when we backwash the filter.
Okay.
Okay. And then it comes over here and it drops down to the ground, and then we inject air through this pipe here, about here, and this becomes an air-water mixture.
Okay. And okay.
If it's 50-50 air-water, it weighs half as much. Its density is half as much as all water, so the water in the tank pushes it up and out.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then you can see as this comes out, it creates a real mixture of air
A lot
and
of it.
water. So we're actually aerating the tank. That's most of our aeration comes from this, which you'd have to have anyway.
Right, yes.
So
yeah.
we're in essence moving the water for nothing.
I see.
And so that's how we run all these systems with airlift. It makes a very simple system. Here we're siphoning over the tank,
Okay, I see. Siphoning
and
over
that
the
just
tank.
goes under the beads,
Okay.
and the water pressure pushes it
Pushes it
through
up.
the beads,
Okay.
along here, and then drops down.
Okay.
Now,
Fascinating.
and we have the nice little feature, people that use siphons out of tanks, is we put these little brass valves up there, and all we have to do is suck the air out to start
To start the siphon. Okay, I see.
and that way you know what's going on. But it's a very simple system. It works very reliably. Here we're running it off, if you can listen, it's very quiet. We're running this whole room off one little linear air pump.
I can't even hear the pump.
That's right. So that's really, in terms of energy, it's really, really cost conservative.
Absolutely amazing.
So we're
Okay.
running off the same air pump. We're running shrimp at near full salt water.
Okay.
These are cockahoo minnows, a local bait fish.
Okay.
And we're running them at about, what, a third salinity, Derek?
5 ppb.
5 parts per thousand.
Okay.
This looks like a small little airlift. We do these airlifts up to 12 inches in diameter, and they flow up to 1,000 gallons a minute.
That's crazy.
That's almost enough to do a little kayak circuit type thing.
Kayak.
Yeah, we're getting into the water park business once aquaculture is taken care of.
You got get in there, kayak.
So it doesn't take a lot of energy to run this, and that's of course why we do it so much.
Wow, okay, I see. I'm definitely gonna have to hook up something like this and test this out.
Now, just while we're here, we're talking about this, if we're doing a complex system, this system is backed up with a very simple pure ox system.
Okay, I see.
Remember, if we have an interruption of our air supply, the animals are going to die in about 20 or 30 minutes,
Okay.
potentially.
Okay.
So we have, this is a cylinder which you can rent for $6 to $8 a month of pure oxygen.
Okay.
And we have this hooked up and set with a diaphragm and everything, so it will run to the tanks. But then over here, come over here, we have a electric solenoid up here,
Okay. Yep.
which is, it's a normally open solenoid.
Uh-huh.
And that means when you put power to it, it closes.
Okay.
So if you get a power interruption, it opens and then
then-
it delivers to these air stones you see in the tank.
That's-
just enough oxygen to keep everything alive.
And I was gonna ask you why those were in there without running any. There was no diffused air coming through that, but now
That's
you just
right.
explained it.
So if we unplug those pumps, then, well, we turn off the current, then it would automatically go on. We also have this one hooked up to a pressure sensor right here, a Linux sensor pressure sensor. Then if the air pressure drops off, it'll also come down.
Okay.
So either way, so
Okay.
this comes from years of experience of raising high density of animals in a small space. The number one killer is always oxygen.
Oxygen. Okay.
Number one
Okay.
killer is always oxygen.
This is a particle size counter. We use this for customers send us water samples and we run it through either for wastewater and aquaculture.
Okay.
What this does is it hooks up to this peristaltic pump that pumps at a very, very precise flow.
Okay.
And this has an optical sensor and it'll tell us 2 to 5 micron, 5 to 10, all the way
The
up
size
to
of the particles,
greater
okay.
than 100 microns.
Okay.
So it helps us figure out, as far as solids capturing, what our filters are doing,
Okay.
and gives us an ability to optimize them for smaller. We're trying to get lower than 25 microns, which is pretty good. I
Mhm.
mean, that's getting to the point where you really can't tell visually the
Can't see
difference.
them. Okay, I see. You got it made, but if you can do that, you got it made. Derek, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, no
Thanks a
problem.
lot.
No, we'll see you. Thanks.